Hey everyone, this is part 2 of the Uncanny X-Men and the new Teen Titans. Um, it was 1981 when this crossover event took place, and we ended last time on this very, very dramatic panel where Dark Phoenix wants to know who summoned her, and Darkseid says, "It was me." Like, now I control you. And of course, like I said, Cyclops, this is what he does. He's like, Jean, no. He just thought a lot. Like, he's done that in this book a couple times already. He does that a lot anyway. That's what he does. And Darkseid's like, you're wasting your breath. She's mine. I think it's interesting how he likes to have a strong, powerful woman by his side. Like, he was in love with death for the longest time. And that was just like kind of an interesting storyline, interesting pairing. Anyway, so basically Darkseid goes into his whole spiel about like why he's doing this. Like, he's, the Lord of Apocalypse, and he wants to create a new apocalypse on their Earth. And he's going to basically destroy the Earth, and from the ashes build a new apocalypse that he's gonna be in charge of, that he's going to basically recreate in the image that he wants to create it in. Your civilization will crumble overnight, and then it'll just be me, and I'll be in charge, and I'll be the leader, and the whole face of the world will change, and mountains will be leveled, and landscapes shattered by earthquakes and volcanoes. The seas himself will boil away. Life itself, even the potential for life, will end. And then those species lucky enough, tough enough to survive, those will be the only one left. And then, I mean, it kind of sounds like in Revelation, when they talk about like the world ending, and then, yeah, that's kind of what it makes me think of. But of course, that ends in a good note. This one, not so much. So basically, anyway, he leaves them. He and Dark Phoenix go, and as soon as they leave, like their restraints are gone, like they vanished. So then they can, be freed. And so the two teams meet, and Cyclops is like, under the circumstances, like, even though we don't know each other, like, I feel like we should team up. And Robin's like, my sentiments exactly. And Cyclops says, I'm Cyclops. And Robin's like, I'm Robin. And and Kitty, being, the boy crazy person she is, like, looking at Changeling, and it's like, gee, that green guy looks like my age. He's cute. And, like I said, she's boy crazy. And then Raven, like, senses about Storm, how she's this tranquil, calm presence about her. And then Wolverine's the total opposite, and he has this rage about him, and she better not get too close. And Wolverine makes a comment in his head. He thinks, I scare the bird lady. I wonder why. Anyway, so they sense this chair, or this presence nearby, and it's this chair that you saw Metron use in the beginning. And so they're not sure what it is or how it works. And then Kitty and Changeling are in the chair, and Kitty's like, I wish we could just go home. And they poof out of existence, and then they come back, and Professor Xavier's like, of course, it's controlled by thought. And they're like, well, how are we all going to fit in this chair? So they come up with the whole Changeling is going to hold the chair, and then they're all going to hold on to Changeling so that they can all get home to New York. And you see Peter over here like, Kitty had him change into Lockheed. I thought that was our secret symbol. I thought that was just a thing for us. And then he mumbles to himself in Russian, and Starfire's like, oh, a new language I can learn. And she kisses him, because that's how she learns languages, like through kissing, which, one of those weird things that DC thought was would be funny and interesting. And I guess it is in a way, but it's just, like I said, you kind of like, okay. Kind of cringed a little bit too. So basically, they go back to New York with the help of the chair. And then Raven's like, I sense, Darkseid nearby. And so then they use the chair again to go to his location, which is underground. So of course that freaks Storm out because she's claustrophobic. And she's like, and Cyclops is like, are you okay? And she says, I will be, I just need, I'm terrified, but I will be okay. I'll cope with it. I'll deal with it. Because that's what heroes do. So they come across, the shock troops and Terminator and, battle their way through them. And then Phoenix is like, Darkseid, my love, we have visitors, which I think it's weird that they have her say that. But I guess with her being transformed into Dark Phoenix, it was kind of basically what pushed her kind of and had her manipulated was emotions. Like Mastermind kind of used that to his advantage to try to control her. This emotions of like love and lust, and tapped into that to try to, in an effort to control her. So I guess that's kind of why they had her say that. And then, basically Starfire sees Phoenix and goes after her immediately. And Phoenix is like, you idiot, basically. I'm fueled by, like, interstellar energy, and all you're doing, your star bolts, all you're doing is feeding me. Like, you're just making me stronger. And, of course, the X-Men try to plead with her, like, Nightcrawler's like, Jean, please don't do this. And Dark Phoenix is like, I know who I am and what I am, and I'm not Jean Grey. And Raven tries to, like, consume her, like, draw the evil out of her, but Phoenix is like, you're just as evil as me. I can feel you're tainted. You're tainted by an evil that rivals my own. You cannot contain me. We are too much alike. We could be sisters. And of course that scares Raven because she's had to deal with this her whole life, like her dad being Trigon, this demon lord. And she's always tried to distance herself from that and run away from her destiny, basically, because he always says it's your destiny to take over for me. It's your destiny to rule with me, sort of thing. So she always tries to run from that, and so that freaks her out and scares her. And Darkseid's like, quit messing around with them. It's time. And basically, what his whole plan is he's going to use the Phoenix energy, have her use her energy to tap into the Earth's core so that it will set off a chain reaction of all these like hell pits that he has put in place. And basically they're going to destroy the Earth. And so then he can remake it into his image and, Apocalypse and what he wanted to. So then, yeah, he can basically start over. So Professor Xavier talks to Raven and says, hey, look, if we combine our powers, like, we can reach her. We just have to, and Raven's like, I don't want to, I can't do it because what if she's right? What if I am like evil? What if we are kindred spirits? So basically they join together, and what they do is they focus on the love that they have for Jean Grey, because basically that's what made her. That's how Jean Grey reached out to the universe in order to save her friends, in order to save her family, so to speak. And so they tap into that love in order to basically get Dark Phoenix under control. Because that love is a part of her, and if she denies that, she's denying a part of herself. And that weakens her because she realizes that, yeah, she's denying a part of herself, and she's not whole because Darkseid wasn't able to get all of the residual energy because they ruined his machine in New Mexico. So part of her is missing, so she can't sustain herself. So what's happening is she's basically dissolving. And Robin just gets the idea that, hey, like, if I trick her into reabsorbing the energy that she shot into the earth, that should reverse the transformation and fix everything. And so he says, Phoenix, in order to sustain yourself, you need power. You should absorb what you threw into the earth back into yourself, and then you'll live. And Phoenix says, yes, that's a great idea. And so she does, but, Professor Xavier and Raven keep up at her. They keep at her to, they forge that mind link with her, and they can't, they keep at her. They can't let her have a moment to rest. So basically Phoenix has reabsorbed that energy, and she's like, I'm whole, yes, I'm back. And then she says, feels herself fading, and she's like, it wasn't enough. I don't want to die. Help me. And Darkseid, says you won't. You should absorb someone else, like absorb someone, like have the Phoenix Force you go into someone else. And so basically she chooses Cyclops, and she says, like, come, my once, former lover, like, come to me. And this is I think this is the first time that the Phoenix Force has merged with him, but it's not the last time, because if you remember, like in Avengers versus X-Men, he was part of the 5 that had the Phoenix Force in them. But anyway, that's a different story. And so, but by absorbing Scott, that's like the worst thing she can do, because of course Scott has the strongest memories of her, the strongest love for her. And so, and he basically says, your creation was born of love. Like, Jean reached out to you so that you could help her save her loved ones. So if you deny that, you deny your true self. And then Phoenix Force says, but if I accept it, I'm doomed. And then she comes after Darkseid, the Phoenix Force, because she realizes, like, he recreated her, but he recreated her hollow. Like, she wasn't whole. She wasn't a whole person. And so they both disappear. She disappeared into the cosmic universe. There she has him still. And then they go back into, like, the source, the wall that we talked about at the very beginning, that Darkseid wanted to know, and Metron wanted to know, like, what was behind there and stuff. And then basically you just have this one last panel of the Teen Titans and the X-Men just hanging out. And there's just this little thing. They're not even talking together. I mean, Nightcrawler says something, and then Cyclops says something, And of course Scott's like, I wish there had been another way. And Storm's like, I know, but so basically that was it. Like I said, I kind of wish they had more interaction between the two teams at the end, but I guess what would they say, or how would they continue that? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you join me. Bye.